Hello there, my fellow YouTubers. This is Simply Tutorials, where the tutorials are, you guessed it, simple. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can add your own 3D model into Source Filmmaker. Stay tuned. Okay, so I've learned how to add a 3D model into Source Filmmaker, and what I did is I basically stripped it down to the bare bone essentials, stuff that you have to do, nothing more, nothing extra. So let's go ahead and jump on in. You're going to need a couple of programs, so let's go over that. You're going to need GUI Studio, you're going to need VTF Edit, you're going to need a 3D modeling program, either Milkshake 3D or Blender. I heard they have an add-on for 3D Studio Max, but I haven't used it, so we're not going to go over that. When I learn more about it, I'll make a video about it in the future. You're going to need Source Filmmaker, that's a given, and my application that I made. It's called QC and VMT Maker. You don't need it, but it does make life a lot easier. And trust me, when you're doing this, if you tried this before, you want easy. And that's where I come in. Okay, first off, let's go over a couple of the programs that I just mentioned. We got GUI Studio, which basically takes your SMD file, converts it to and compacts it with all the source resources it needs into an MDL. Think of an MDL as an RAR, and it has stuff inside of it, and you want that the program looks to read, which is your 3D model and all that jazzy stuff. And then you got VTF Edit. VTF Edit is for the texture and basically telling the program where the texture is located at. And then you got Milkshake, which that's a given, it's a 3D model. Source Filmmaker, you know what that does, and my application, we'll go over that when the time comes. Okay, let's start off with a 3D model, which I have one pre-generated here, or pre-made. I made a dishwasher. I exported it into a wavefront OBJ object file, because everything opens up objects, for 3D anyway. Now let's open up Milkshake. Click yes. Oh, sorry, was reading my conversation with my YouTubers. Okay. Now let's go to File, Import, OBJ, Wavefront OBJ, and then locate your OBJ file, which mine is on my desktop, countertop, dishwasher. And then we got my stuff here, which this is supposed to be black, but because it's a solid color and it's a straight color, it actually, Google SketchUp actually just exported it into a gray color instead of just black like it's supposed to be. But for the most part, it looks fine and it'll work. So now what we're going to want to do is minimize this. Go to our folder with our materials in it, which mine's in dishwasher. In the dishwasher folder, we got black, material 2, material 3, and material 5. I actually copied and pasted this here so I could actually use the color. But now what we're going to want to do is open up VTF Edit. Okay. So now we got VTF Edit open. We're going to import the actual materials into the VTF Edit and export them to a VTF file. And one thing you're going to want to do for your standard textures is you're going to go to Tools. I mean, not Tools, but Options. And make sure Auto Create VMT File is checked. We're going to have to edit this later, but you want it to be there so it just makes things easier. So make sure that's checked. And if you want to, if you're doing special textures like animated GIFs or translucent textures, then you don't do that, and I'll show you how to do that in another video. So let's go to File, Import, locate your folder, countertops, dishwasher, and then we got our materials here. So let's go ahead and start off with black metal, and just hit OK, and then wait for it to load up, and then hit File, Save As, and it should pop up with the same folder as our black material or our materials are in. And if it's not, then just navigate there. And we're going to call this BLA Black Metal without the extension. And make sure that if you put a space in, don't put a space in your name. If you want to have a space, just put an underscore, because it doesn't read spaces very well. So just hit save. And you'll notice it created a VMT file and a VTF. The VTF is the texture. The VMT is basically the material telling you where the texture is located at and put it on. Now let's import our materials too. Boom. And we just do that. And we'll save as. And we'll call this marble. M-A-R-B-L-E. And hit save. And again, it created both those. And we'll do this with the last one, which is our wood. So let's go to OK. And let's hit save as. We'll go wood. Which honestly, I don't know where the wood is on there, but it's on there somewhere. And if Google SketchUp exported it, then it's obviously on there somewhere, and you'll get a big issue if it's not on there. Now we'll go to, wait, got one more. Import our metal, which I know that's on there. So let's go to OK. Or save as metal. Where's my cap locks on? There we go. Darn it. Copy that. And make sure that the VMT and the VTF file actually are the same. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh well, we'll leave it like that. Now that we've got those down, let's go back to Milkshape. And let's go to Materials, the Materials tab right there, and find our materials, which this is obviously the gray. So let's go to Countertops, Dishwasher, Dishwasher, and find our metal right there, which we want to do the VTF and not the VMT, because the VMT doesn't have any picture in it whatsoever. Okay. And it should stay the same. If you notice a change, then something went wrong. And then our black, which is a standard color, but we're going to go ahead and put our black metal in there. Which that, of course, is going to change because we're going from a straight black texture to a black metal texture that I generated in Photoshop. Now our marble. And then our wood, which I don't know where the wood is at, but it's on there somewhere. Because I basically did a countertop with wood, and I changed it. I edited it to where it was a dishwasher, and it's looking for the wood somewhere. So instead of getting an error, we're just going to go ahead and add it. Okay. And now that that's done, we're going to go to File, Export, Half-Life SMD, locate our dishwasher folder, and we're going to type in dishwasher.smd. We'll hit enter. And when it comes to SMD export, make sure reference is checked, and with vertex weights of Half-Life 2, don't check that. Make sure it's unchecked. And then hit OK. And now we can actually minimize this. If we go back a folder, we got our SMD right there. Now what we're going to want to do is create the QC file, and we're actually going to edit the VMT file, which if you double click it, it's right there. Just go ahead and open up QC Maker, QC Generator, and VMT Maker. And what we'll do is we will go to our folder name, which in my case is Kitchen, which your folder name is pretty much, let's open up my user mod folder for Source Filmmaker, which is your Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Source Filmmaker, Game, and User Mod. And what we're going to do is you go to Materials, and then you go to Models, and whatever your folder is called that you're wanting to add the materials to, you just make that folder in here, which in my case is actually Kitchen. right there, KITCHEN. And that's the folder we're going to be using. So, KITCHEN, kitchen. And the model name is dishwasher. So what you're going to want to do is right click on that, go down to rename, copy the name, and then paste it. That way you know the model name and what the MDL file is going to be called. And the MDL file and the SND file are going to be the same. So I'm going to hit this button. The folder name and the materials folder name are the same. So we're going to hit that button too. That way it puts it down there and you ain't less typing. A simple tutorial is what I do. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click Save QC File. So, desktop, countertops, dishwasher, and dishwasher.qc. And if you noticed, it made us a QC file, which consists of the kitchen/dishwasher MDL. That's what it's going to create. And then you got models/kitchen, which is the materials, which we're going to make that a capital M. And we're going to hit save, which I need to put that in there, but just capitalize the M. Every time I've done that, I've had no problems. Knock on wood. So, and then we're looking for the dishwasher SMD, which is right there. So that looks pretty standard, look pretty good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to edit the VMT file. So let's go ahead and go over what that is. Now if you open up your VMT, it says light mapped generic, which that's not what it's supposed to say. It's actually supposed to say vertex lit generic. But you could change that manually, but I got a program to do that for you. And it also, in users, it tells you where the texture's at, which the texture's not going to be on my desktop. It's going to be within the materials folder that we just went over. So, let's exit that. Click on Make VMT File. This pops up, so let's go ahead and drag this over to work with this. The folder name is actually called Kitchen. And the VTF model name is called Black Metal. So you can either copy that or you could just type it in black_metal. And then we'll hit save. And we'll go here. And we'll hit save and they'll say, do you want to replace? You're going to hit yes. And now let's open it up. Now it says vertex lit generic, base texture, models/kitchen/black metal. And that's what we want it to say. And just do the same thing for the rest of them. Marble. Just a little bit quicker that way. Save. Yes. And wood. And there we go. Now they should all be edited to where the VMT file. Yep. VMT. Yep. Yep. And we already did the black metal. So now what we're going to want to do is copy the VMTs and all the VTF files. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to hit right click, go to copy, and then go to our kitchen folder and paste it all. Now there's 4 files in here labeled with metal, labeled metal and black and marble and all that stuff. So I'm going to hit replace. Darn it, where'd it go? Right there. We're going to skip them actually, because marble's already in there, and you notice that marble's already the same because I've done this to multiple models. So, but you would just put them in there, and if it wants to replace, just go over and see what it wants to replace and why. And then if anything, just rename it if you need to. So now that we got that done, we can exit that. We can exit this. And then we're going to open up GUI Studio. Yep, we're going to go over what that said in this. We're going to go over it and how to fix what it just said. So what you're going to want to do is if it's your first time using GUI Studio, you're going to go to set game, we're going to set Studio MDL path. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our user mods folder, which for me is right here. Steam apps, common, Source Filmmaker, game, I think it's in bin, yep, right there, Studio MDL. And then go to config, and you're gonna, wait, no, we're gonna leave it alone. Don't mess with that. Hit add, and go back, right, and go to user mods. Where's it at? Right there, boom. And then scroll down to gameinfo.txt. If for some reason your game info text is not there, at the end of the video, I'll post a picture and you can just copy it, or I'll put a link in the description to where you can download mine, I guess. So we're going to hit OK, but I've never not had it there. And now, the GUI Studio is set up. So now we're going to load our QC file, which is desktop, countertops, where's it at? Dishwasher QC, and we're going to hit compile. And then, depending on your computer, mine's not super fast, but it still works pretty good. It might take a second, and sometimes it may even crash. I've actually had that happen twice. One time it actually froze my computer, and the other time it crashed. Just the application stopped working. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it, and I'm going to unpause it when it gets done. Real quick, it's not done yet, but I wanted to tell you that if it says not responding, oh, it completed. If it said not responding, then it's just doing its thing. You just let it sit there, and eventually it will finish like it just did. Now we can hit exit, open up our user mods folder. Let's go to models, kitchen, and look for dishwasher, which is right there. Dishwasher MDL. Now we're going to open up Source Filmmaker. So let's go to Steam. Get software. Right there. You know how to get Source Filmmaker. Click launch. We'll minimize that. Oh, darn it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I forgot to hit the Source SDK button, but not Source SDK, but run it. You know how you get the option. And I don't remember if I hit it or not. But obviously I hit it, so it's working. We're going to create a new session. We're going to call this YouTube test. YouTube. Oh, darn it, my caps is on. YouTube test. Click create. We're going to load in our map, which is going to be big stage, which you should defaultly have. It's actually for testing and stuff. I love using big stage. It's just plain simple, and then I could just copy everything and go to the actual map. Okay, now we're going to go to animation set editor. I don't know why element viewer was open, but oh well. We're going to hit this button here. Go to create animation set for new model. We're going to type in dishwasher, and there it is. Click open, and there's the dishwasher. It looks like it's supposed to. Boom. It's not the best looking dishwasher, but it is a dishwasher. If you found this tutorial to be very useful, very helpful in any way, please hit that like button. If you just felt this video was utterly horrible and you're like, man, I'm never going to watch him again, then hit that dislike button. But if you do hit the dislike button, please leave a comment in the comment section as to why you did so. I always strive to improve on the channel. So, I like to think I'm doing good, but I'll never know if you don't tell me. You can always hit that subscription button if you like the material I put out, and my tutorials are really simple for you, and you want to see more. you can do that. If you want to donate and help the channel out, there's a Patreon in the description. I may have a PayPal button here pretty soon, to where you could just like click the PayPal and just donate money if that's what you want to do. But if you can't donate, or if you want to donate but you can't, you can always hit that subscription button and the like button. That helps out too. That's pretty much it. It's been another Simply Tutorials. I hope you have been simplified, and I shall see you next time in the next video.